Dale Hartwick, possibly now shaved goatee. He's guilty of aiding OPP cops in this identity theft and crime against me for drop charges. He was also my cousin, and he is guilty of molesting me in Winnipeg, Manitoba back in the 1980s. He's guilty of stabbing his wife's boyfriend, now a rat informant, aiding cops in committing this to me for drop charges. He possibly without his goatee now, but get a good look at this. This is the picture of a murdering piece of fucking shit garbage that walks the streets of Napanee, working with him for OPP, with human trafficking, dog torturing, murdering pieces of shit like Tyler fucking Lake. Jason Gimpy Two-Step Van Alstyne. Tony Hearns, aka Axel Rose, redheaded stepchild, guilty of attempted murder on me with Dale fucking Hartwick because they're boyfriends. I said, if you can numb me down and dumb me down long enough, injure me, torture me, deform me, keep me from help, while totally fucking me, it benefits everybody involved, including OPP themselves, while sitting their thumbs on their fucking asses, refusing arrest because it could implicate them because they're guilty of human trafficking, sex slavery trafficking, injured, torture, crimes, force, suicide, murders, identity thefts, pedophilia, stalking, elderly and dog murders is what OPP is guilty of with these pieces of shit garbage. Spencer Mills, 14716, ex-chief or commander before leaving Napanee, year 2019, drove a white Jeep Wrangler, had me shot on the corner of Center and Bridge Street back in 2019, not with a bullet but by something that went into my right ear. He is a fucking terrorist. Bill Wooldridge was stalking children for him for sex slavery, child pedophilia, sex slavery at Tim Hortons on a daily basis. I got his picture. He went into hiding. I was just out a little while ago today visiting my cousin who happens to live across the road now from one Bill Wooldridge, the one involved who is now bald, glasses, sometimes a goatee. As soon as I walked over there, he came out of his house. He walked across the road, mouthing something off to us. Walked across the road towards us, wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. Proceeded to walk up Center Street, going towards No Frills. 2 seconds after he crossed the road, OPP went behind him, following him. Because he is their boss, because they are out there fucking following him and protecting this piece of shit. This is how they're human trafficking. Lowlifes like Jason Van Alstyne, who are guilty of my identity theft. After 4 years of going through this and being medically blacklisted and not being able to get any help, damages are done, time is bought. This is how OPP traffic, frame, and murder victims in Napanee. This is Ray LeBlanc, lives behind Mamma Mia's Pizzeria. He has 2 pit bulls, one is a white deaf one and one is a puppy. He's also guilty of torturing my dog Runt with Tyler Lake and murdering him in March 2023. They're animal abusers. He's a child groomer. They are all sex offenders. They're all drug addicts and drug traffickers. Tyler Teabag Lake. Hells Angels Ontario chapter captain. This is why OPP cannot touch him, because they work with and for him. So So this is the bald bastard that lives at 149 Center Street North that had cops on his ass today protecting him while he was out doing his shopping or his child checking or whatever. He was probably on his way to Prince Charles School, you pig pervert. And I'm not on here to mouth off or to name call or anything else. I am on here to let everybody know what has taken place, and they are very seriously dangerous garbage here in Napanee, working with and for OPP. It's kind of funny how I can have my head expanded, deformed in about 50 different ways, shapes and sizes, prove it, be called a liar, not being able to do anything about it, go through serious identity changes, being able to prove it, have proven it, still being called a liar, while not being able to get any medical help, not any legal rights or anything else. OPP has assured that through hospitals they use to fucking falsely charge their victims for harassment for wanting help, and naming names of doctors and even CEOs who are aiding OPP, Bill Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, and the rest of these scumbags in covering up their crimes with criminal negligent intent at 3 hospitals. This is how they're getting away with it. Poor, homeless, elderly. Beware the homeless human trafficking out of the Morning Star mission, the homeless exploitation for monetary gain through them, using these fucking lowlives. Blair Hardy, Jason Van Alstyne. When OPP need to commit murders in Napanee, this is who they use. There's Blair Hardy once again. He's guilty of rapes. He raped a woman named Olivia that used to live here in Napanee before moving to Kingston, who passed from an overdose. He tried to rape her at Mike Gordon's place back before she passed away, and because of it, because he couldn't finish his rape on her, I believe he sent Jason Van Alstyne to Kingston because he is the one that sold her the laced drugs that overdosed her. Just like with Jack Clark, he was with Jack Clark the day before he died. Jason Van Alstyne was. They're the ones that are lacing the drugs to cause these deaths through these addicts, to make it look like just gotten bad drugs and overdose. No, it's being done with intent on purpose to commit murder. And it's being all done under unsuspecting eyes and noses. They got a justice of the peace to make accusations, to obstruct, to refuse arrests. They got rookie cops who are aiding them in their orders to aiding them in their orders to aid them in their crimes, because these are higher up people. Once again, Spencer Mills 14716, whether they have transferred or not, they are still very dangerous cops who need to be criminally and felony arrested and charged, have their badges taken, their pensions. They make their money through human trafficking. They make their money through buying, selling lives, trading lives. They make their money through drug trafficking. They make their money through possible money laundering and extortions. I've been trying for 4 years to get help, medically, legally, and every other way, while not being able to do anything about it, being falsely charged to keep me from medical help, while my brain's being fried out of my head, while I'm going completely numb, while I'm losing memories, so everybody can get away with this, so I can be fucked over even more. I'm the end of my bloodline as well, so congratulations, you pieces of shit. One way or another, Bill Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Jason Van Alstyne, Ray LeBlanc, and the rest of you OPP, Dale Hartwick, Tony Ernst, Blair Hardy, Billy Wooldridge, Van Alstyne, you're all gonna fucking answer for this, including Robert Barry, who happens to be an ex-jail guard from Ottawa, who is involved with this as well, along with a Maggie Falls, a Bert Hustler, a Jimmy Perry, an Isaac. They are all homeless scumbag pieces of shit, and not because they're homeless, they are just natural scumbag pieces of shit. life to OPP, and the hospitals that they use, life means nothing to them. Something they can easily fucking take and have it covered up, especially when it's done to the poor, homeless, elderly, disabled. Using lies against me, saying I'm a suicidal self-harmer. I'm not a suicidal self-harmer, you lying fucks. I've been trying to save my life. If I was a suicidal self-harmer, I would have just do it. You garbage. Lies of long psychological record and history. Sorry, I'm not schizophrenic. I don't hear voices. I have no hallucinations. I have no imaginary friends. I don't think I'm somebody I'm not. There's no delusions. This is a crime on me since day one, that they are trying to make it look mental illness. They're trying to make it look drugs, using their badges, positions, and this is how and why they're fucking getting away with it. I guarantee you, I'm not the only one. I bet there has been many who they've done this to, committed full identity thefts on, to fuck over people who possibly spoke of their crimes, and that's the only reason this is happening. No feeling in the right side of my head but air. Dale Hartwick, Harry Hartwick, Tony Hearns are using R&M on me right now. The whole back side of my head is fucking completely burning. That spot on the back of my head. Every time this happens, that spot on the back of my head swells right up like a balloon inside of it, and that's when the right side of my head will start to swell. And you can tell where my skull's been split. Being called a fucking liar with no proof, this doctor's not wanting to see any proof. Me being sex assaulted, having my testicles and anus tortured to blood and ripped open, going to the hospital, and I was accused of doing it. The hospital and doctors that they have tried to fucking blame me for doing that, and was going to try to have me committed for it, and I have it in writing to prove it. I bet you there is a lot of people sitting in Quinny right now that are innocent, who have been fucked over from OPP, and this is how you're hiding them through the system while you're committing identity thefts and committing murders. Telling Billy Wooldridge he's my dad, knowing how fucking psychotic he is, and believing it, and this is why he was stalking my mother, and this is why he was calling my mother mom. This is the boss to OPP, the Hells Angels pedophile, who used to stalk your children at Tim Hortons. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here. Damage is done, time's bought. But Dale Hartwick, Tony Hearns, Blair Hardy, Billy Wooldridge, Jason Van Alstyne, Ray LeBlanc, Blair Hardy, once again, you're gonna answer for this. Look at me, I can barely fucking think, I can barely talk. I'm being turned into a fucking vegetable. I had no neurological problems prior to all of this after I was shot. But I've also had 4 years of not being able to get any medical help through lies against me. And this is why they're so successful in their fucking crimes. And this is how they assure their crimes, especially when it's the poor, homeless, elderly. You pick somebody with long hair, which I did have, and tattoos. You throw your label on it, you use your badges, positions, your credentials, and your lies, your false guise of law, and boom. You got your human trafficking, you got your murders all above suspicion because of that bullshit. Be safe, everybody. Love all, hate none. There is nothing I can do about this, so I hope the public sees this and takes it very, very serious. I've proven my crimes, and I can certainly prove a whole lot more, which I have not shown. So, be safe. I've been saying from day one who is responsible, who is guilty for this, the OPP, the cops involved, and I will continue as long as I'm alive to name you pieces of shit until you are arrested and you are fucking thrown in prison along with the other bastards that are working with them for you. No threats. And one way or another, I will sue your asses. I will break your human trafficking, extortion, money laundering fucking bank. You owe me, as a matter of fact, approximately $150 million as it stands right now, OPP, for the crimes, 4 years of crimes on me, including murdering my mother and my dogs.